Right, and then he plays it forward. Right. We're moving mad. Odegaard, Laka, Granite, Pepe. Come on, man. We ain't seen nothing off this bench. Come on. They're on you, though. They're on Pepe. He can't even turn. Saka made it happen. Ref! That's a yellow. Ref! Well in, Xhaka. Oh, God. Well in. Well in. We've taken it quickly. Odegaard, you know what to do. You know what to do. Oh, he's found Pepe. You got to score. Yes! Offside might shake it. Offside might shake it. But Emil Smith-Rowe has got it. Yes! Smith-Rowe, Haylender. Hayland strikes again. Super sub. You know, involved in 2 goals. It's like I told you the Starboy thing. We do this. We create demons over here at Haylen and that, man. Fantastic play from us. Again, the only thing. Oh, we're gonna get shagged. We're gonna get shagged. We're gonna get shagged. It is offside. It is offside. Pepe should have pulled it in same way, anyways. Has it taken a deflection off a Norwich lad, though? Has it taken a deflection of a Norwich lad? Has it taken a deflection from Pepe from a Norwich lad, and then it's rendered onside? I mean, Smith-Rowe. I mean, I love Laka because he's telling him to celebrate and whatnot. It's got. I'll be if we get that, we're shagging it. We're bugging it. I can't lie. We're lying to ourselves. Miles offside. Million years offside still. Come on, man. We need this. 8 goals for the Premier League season. We need these stats. Come on, VAR. Wenger, put in that phone call, please. If there's a deflection, that's a goal, man. I believe there's a deflection. So I'm saying, look, looking at that. Yes! Smith-Rowe's goal counts. It's easy. It's easy. He's come off the bench, been involved in 2 goals. You know the thing. This is why I wish we had 12 players. We're eating. We're cooking at Haylen. Why couldn't Martinelli get one of them as well? And it would have been really perfect. If only we could play 12 players, man. No way Smith-Rowe deserves to be on the bench, but yeah, right now it is where it is, man. And that's that, man. We came, we saw, we conquered. Arsenal 5, Norwich 0. First things first. First things first. I'm happy about the clean sheet because we should have got one against Leeds, and there's been occasions away from that where we should have got one. I'm happy the scoreline reflects what we should have seen in the first half. I'm happy for the players. It's got a big arcs for these 48 hours. We've done well. Bukayo Saka would have loved you to have had a hat-trick. Martinelli got shagged for an offside goal. Lovely to see Smith-Rowe get a goal late on off the bench. And obviously, you know, he's been involved in what's led to the penalty. Martin Odegaard has been nothing short of sublime today. I feel Ben White's been very good at right back. Xhaka as well had a good game, as did Kieran Tierney. Partey had a very good game, in my opinion. You know, Lacazette gets his 3rd goal of the season. And I'm happy with the away game. You know, away from home, it's a tough one, really and truly. And I'm never really confident in us away from home. And we've reacted well. It's a big test. Like I said, credit to Norwich, because again, they've had injuries, they've had COVID, they've had things to deal with, innit? And again, look at where they are. So respect to our competitors, but we came, we saw, we conquered. And I love to see that from the Arsenal lads, for the away fans, you know, making someone's day. It looked like Odegaard, Gabriel and Lacazette were throwing their shirts away to the fans. So Haylen did the bits with the Sakas and the Smith-Rowe. Odegaard's getting better with every game. Got a clean sheet. Ben White showing his versatility, you know, handling business. Obviously, where top 4 is concerned as well, people, the margins for error are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So you need to take full points where you can. And respectfully to Norwich, they sit rock bottom. They're a minus goal difference of around 20 plus. I'm sure it was 26 before we started playing them. So Lord knows where it is right now. You need to get a performance. So you need to put in a shift against these teams. The Wolves is going to be a better test, in my opinion, a completely different test, in my opinion. But same way, we're going to need to brush them aside. And as I said, it's a massive turnover. We celebrate what's left of this, but tomorrow we focus on Wolves because it's a different game. We've seen them against Liverpool, City and Chelsea, whether these teams have won, lost or drawn, give these teams tough days at the office, people. So we're going to need to do a lot, but You know, it's a perfect 3 points Arsenal fans would have wanted over the Christmas period. You know, Ramsdale. There's no highlights for Ramsdale. Sometimes we've won convincingly and said Ramsdale's man of the match. There's no highlights for Ramsdale today. We'll be forcing it. Ramsdale had nothing to do. You know, I did see him dive, so I wouldn't say his kit's clean, but it's probably the cleanest it's ever been. Obviously, Holding's come in and done quite well. Tini's getting better and better. As I said, I feel Granit Xhaka and Partey, the first time in a while we've, you know, because in this recent where we're winning games, I'm not going to lie, it's not like they've been playing bad, but if I look at the Southampton, what's followed from Southampton to now, we've sat there and we've said, maybe the midfield could have done a bit better. Maybe the midfield was a yard off and things like that. This was the first time in a while for me. I feel them two in midfield in the pivot were on par with a Odegaard, with a, you know, Ben White, who had a good game. Like everyone had a good game, but I would say for me, best performers, Odegaard, without a doubt. Forget his 2 assists. It's just the balls he tries to play forward first thing. Saka, you can't look away from it with, you know, Brandon Williams got savaged anytime. I think Partey had a very good game. I think Ben White had a very good game. Obviously, I'm biased because he's a fullback. Tierney had a very good game, best in the league, as I always say. Flying Scotsman. I don't say that for no reason, but it's a fantastic performance. Everyone played well. You know, everyone played well, and people that have come into the side, like Holding, you've got an opportunity. You've done all right. This is what a squad is. You know, we're doing well. We're at the halfway period. As I said, we got to focus on Wolves, and I want to win against Wolves because we got good home form, and we have that insurance policy going into the Manchester City game. As much as I want it to be a thing, it's naive to expect that we're gonna win every time. Apart from at times, I feel we could have probably put 5 against them in the first half. I did feel, even though we was a goal up and it was one-way traffic and we was putting together moves effortlessly, I don't think we really tested gun, and the second goal kind of came when it needed to be. I did feel maybe, if I'm cherry picking, maybe we enjoyed the game in the first half a bit too much. People are trying to do Hollywood goals and we're not having the same, you know, we're probably doing a bit too much, and we knew that they probably weren't beating us today. Yeah, man, I would have loved the Saka hat trick. I would have loved Martinelli to you know, goal to have counted. You know, I think Laka had a glorious opportunity. He should have found he should have scored. But other than that, we played well, man. You know, there was a period in the second half, it got a bit flat, I feel, and then it raised a bit. I feel Martinelli kicked into second gear in the second half in that regards. But other than that, what can I say? It's what we needed to see, man. It's exactly what we needed to see. And again, I have to you can only play what's in front of you, but I have to discount it because we should beat Norwich. We didn't rotate this side and we played quite well, man. And like I said, man, we focus now on Wolves and then we focus on City. We've got 2 big games next week. We all know, we keep saying it, but January is not an easy period. What we've got Liverpool twice, City's there. Again, I don't even let me actually check, man. I don't like lying to you lot. I'm sure there's City twice, and we definitely, I mean, there's Liverpool twice. We've got City. I'm sure there's a North London derby quickly as well. Maybe that's in February. No, it's in the 16th of Jan. So yeah, January is a brazy period, people. You know, if we look at it. You know, it's a very brazy period. Like obviously we've just come off the fresh. What, man? Look how many goals we've scored in the last two games as well. We scored 10 goals in the last 2 games. You know, 14 if you count the last 3 games. But in the league, what? We're kind of moving mad. We scored goals in defeats, but what? We bagged 3 against Southampton, made it 5 with the West Ham game, turned it into 9 there. You know, it's getting brazy. You can see what we're putting together, man. So we're showing we can score goals, we can play well. Happy with today because we should have kept a clean sheet. You know, we should have walked away with victory and a point against United. And if we're cherry picking, that's probably what it could come down to. These sort of drop points, but we're doing what we need to do, man. We're going into we just come out of a difficult period and we're being rewarded with another one. Injuries, losses of players, it is what it is. We know that AFCON is going to probably do us over and, pardon my language, fuck us over with significant players. And we know injuries and COVID, these things, you know, we've lost Tomiyasu today due to COVID. Ainsley and Cedric are gone. You know, Ainsley trying to go Roma, that's probably made things difficult. So it's going to be a different theme, but we're going to need to play well. Look, man, it is what it is. Everyone needs to stand up to be counted. There's bare games. The games are coming thick and fast. Just looking at that January period, people, you know, December to January, better yet. We've got Wolves on Tuesday. We've then got City. We then have obviously probably a rotated side, but we've then got the EFL Cup first leg. You've then got Nottingham Forest that same week, basically the weekend. We then play that return leg again within 3 days. And some of these games might change. We've got the North London derby. They're looking a different team under Conte. They're going to want revenge. Burnley are fighting to stay in the league. Wolves away is a tricky one. We didn't win there last year. We need to put in a performance. Brentford at home, I want it. So, yeah, I'm dropping ahead and looking at February, but you get the point. There's no easy games. Even though we're in good form and stuff, what games do you look at and you say are really winnable? You should be winning a couple of them, but it's getting to that brazy period. As I always say, you need to get a goal from August to January, from January until February, from February till March, and then it's a straight furlong from April until May. So let's see what these boys are on, man. But yeah, man, so far so good from us today, man. We was near enough perfect, man. Basically perfect, and as I said, fantastic festive period, man. Norwich 5-1 Arsenal. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Perfect time to rest Tommy for a more physical game against Wolves. He's not being rested. He's missed out due to COVID, and obviously he can't play again. I might be ignorant, but I don't know when he's tested positive for that. He's had the injury thing anyways, but that probably rules him out for that. You probably have to. He's played that. You probably have to just park off Tomiyasu until Manchester City at our place, really. We will only miss Partey, really, and we need to sign a midfielder anyways. I mean, it's true, but it's a squad game, man. If you look, we might even miss Pepe. I can't lie. It doesn't play. We need versatility. On the face of it, we've got Martinelli, Smith-Rowe, Saka, but a couple of injuries, we're fucked. And again, when you've got less players to choose from, you're over-relying on other players, and you're raising the chances of injuries. I love how versatile of a footballer Tomiyasu is. And it is, Larry, you're right. Same way we've needed Ben White to do a job at right back today, even though he's played with that. We might need Tomiyasu to do a job at centre half, same way at a time. So, yeah, man. But it's always, it's always subjected to how they play. When they play well, oh, yeah, we knew that they're versatile and all of that. They play bad, they're being shoehorned within the team. Hopefully we can bring a midfielder in, man. Smith-Rowe goals, Odegaard assists. We're living. 9 away goals in 2 games. This unbeaten run looks much more convincing than the last one in terms of performance. I'd agree with that. Again, still don't know much about us because, again, May's the only real task. But it is right. We was papering over cracks. It looks like, obviously, there are elements we could do a lot better. But you're right in that regards. Facts. Odegaard was class again, bro. Class is an understatement. I feel people that even didn't want to, don't get twisted. There's people that are on the humble pie thing. I didn't rate Odegaard. He's doing well. It's cool. That's not who we're getting at. There's people that just never rated Odegaard, so they don't rate him. Even them, they're whispering it, but they can see what he's doing. It don't matter who he's playing. Even had a good game going back to the Man United one. He just messed up. Lacazette, pretty poor today. Goal saved him. Bit harsh. I wouldn't say poor. Wasn't the usual Lacazette. Wouldn't say he's the best player on the field, but harsh, man. Harsh. I think harsh to say was poor. Very harsh. Poor is a shout. Smith-Rowe, more goals than Ronaldo with no penalties. Agenda's going to be run. I hear it. Saka, the youngest player to score 10 goals for us since Anelka. The man keeps making history, and I think I speak for everyone when we say we're proud of little Chile, and to call him proud, to say we're proud of him and he's achieved stuff is an understatement. Benny Blanco looking like DG on that right wing. Boy, again, not to make a joke of COVID and whatnot, but Arsenal is getting to that. You might have to shout me. Jack Wilshere on a deal until the end of the season. I want a deal to the end of the season, but I'll take a weekly one, The minute you let me in the training ground, I'm just going to be like, wow, I'm part of the training ground. I'll be taking all these players' numbers, trying to get myself some connections out there and whatnot, man. Facts, enjoy your Boxing Day as well, people. Benjamin Blanco looking worth every penny. 5+ goals on the road with a clean sheet. Doesn't matter who that's against. Good work. Facts. Wolves are no pushovers like Norwich. Exact. But Wolves are difficult, fam. And that manager is doing good things. I don't know too much about him, but he's beaky. So we're gonna have to earn it. And again, with us, everyone wants to burst our bubble now. Same way with the last unbeaten run. Everyone wants to burst our bubble. So it's down to us. And again, everyone still thinks they should have done more. Like, it doesn't matter. But Norwich just lost 5-0. They're gonna probably be thinking that they should have given us more of a game. So we've got to earn that territory to that man fear us in this football thing. And we're not quite there yet, but things like this, we're making progress, man. We're making progress. And it's the maturity the consistency, like I'm seeing players start to, was not all the way there yet, and the game management isn't there, but I'm seeing players start to work things out themselves. I'm seeing players manage themselves. I'm seeing intent, like first 5-10 minutes. It looked like a different sort of game. It looked like it was going to be one of these dodgy Boxing Day ones. And, Norwich actually, they tried to be positive. They tried to press us. They tried to play out from the back. We said, all right, cool, fuck all of that. And we showed them who can play. They tried to fight us. I'm not going to say we went out there and started fighting, but you saw with Ben White, with Saka, with a couple, whether they were just screaming or shouting or whatever, we showed that, listen, we're not pussycats. You can't kick us. We're not scared of the kicking thing. The ref doesn't have to stop it, but we're going to beat you, innit? Like, it doesn't matter. Now, of course, you want to see, can you do that against the top 4-6 sides? Can you do that away from home? Can you do it consistently? Can you do it next game? Of course, these questions need to be answered. But when I see things like this and the way we've been playing recently, I'm loving it. It needs to keep going till May. Because again, there's going to be it's like life. You can't have everything can't be good. There's moments, and you've seen it, where we've struggled. That's when you see a team at their best, innit? You're never as good as you think you are when you win. You're never as bad as you think you are when you lose. So by that logic, we've won 5-0 and we've kept a clean sheet. What can we improve? What can we do better? What can we improve just a percentage from this game to the Wolves game? We have that mentality. By the end of the season, we might have something really to celebrate, in my humble opinion. But what do I know? To be fair, I don't think Aubameyang would be disappointed if someone scored a pen. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. Yeah, you're right, man. The process seems to be taking shape for me. May. I like it, but May, because I don't want to look back and say what a great December period. That I need to know that it's here longevity-wise. I'd love for us to sign Wijnaldum in Jan to bolster us, or sign some unknown man like we did with Tommy. Saka starting to hit the far corner with more regularity now, confidence and muscle memory to take over from here. A bit more power in the shot needed, but yeah, man. Smith-Rowe and Saka scoring regularly with Odegaard finding his rhythm is a solid foundation. And I mean, we all know, but that's all 23 and under. You keep them together, you keep developing them, you keep promoting good habits, you keep building on the quality. And what team could you have? You find a striker. Imagine we could cook. Finally enjoying games now. Shameless settings tomorrow. We just need a number 9 who gets 20 goals a season, another top-notch midfielder. I literally just said that exactly. And then the next thing is just thingy, man. It's just a case of depth. Bro, I'll take a 0 hours contract at Arsenal. I'll do a lot. Surprised at how quick Ben White was today. You're not really gonna. Well, you do see it at centre half, but yeah, I guess when you're working the flanks, you see it, man. And I would say we just need depth now. Do you think Billy Gilmore would join us? He's at Chelsea, bro. They'd have to be smoking something serious. I think he needs to be in a team that's not fighting for the. Like, you put him in a possession-based team, you'll see a better Smith. You'll see a better Billy Gilmore. Smith-Rowe will be on the plane come December if he carries on. We need Villa to beat Chelsea, close the gap on third place. Is it just, forgive me if I'm wrong, is that game still going ahead? Because didn't it come out today Gerrard's got COVID? Maybe it's a thing where he's just missing the game. But yeah, man. City 6-3 against Leicester. Bloody hell, man. I know our game had enough goals. People hit the like button if you haven't, but bloody hell. What action you got? So yeah, Chelsea's at 5:30. That's in a bit, really. Crazy, man. And as I always say, man, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, festive greetings. If I don't buck you lot again, I'm not going anywhere. It sounds like I'm coming off this, but it's always a pleasure to be here with you lot, man. The only thing madder than the game is to enjoy not so much lows this game, but generally the highs and lows of football with you guys, whether you support Arsenal or not, man. You lot have been supporting throughout the year and you lot make it what it is, man. And it's a pleasure to spend Boxing Day with you. Like, the time's flying. Like, we've been here for 3 hours and there's no sign of slowing down, people. Again, make sure you're all here for Wolves versus, Arsenal Wolves, man. Make sure you're here for that watch along, man. Set your reminders. Tomorrow, we're going to be reacting to the game and previewing Arsenal Wolves, people. So, yeah, and any other Arsenal talking points. So make sure you're there for that one. Would you recall Nelson to accommodate for Pepe? In theory, yes. I would say no. We loaned him out for a season. Let's deal with what we can without him. Again, is he going to start games and play games? Now, ultimately, you could say we need him to tie us over the festive period or whatever, but there's going to come a time where it's not. It's a bit like keeping Balogun. Balogun might get games, you know, there's speculation over all the other strikers. But suddenly, if Aubameyang and Arteta bless the beef, if obviously Eddie stays, and what could happen is he plays and signs a new deal, Lacazette don't look like he's going nowhere, then apart from the AFCON, Balogun's not going to get no game time. So yeah, man, Smith-Rowe should play more, but we can't play 12 players. And when we're playing like this, you know, when it's going wrong, we can't be vocal in condemning Arteta. When it's going right, everything he's doing is going right. When he's bringing on subs right now at this moment in time, and again, I'm not loyal to Arteta or these players beyond them just playing and managing my club. Too many people are loyal to Arteta failing or Arteta pushing. You know, we just have to support what we're seeing. You know, we can't be very vocal in condemning the guy when we're going through bad periods, when we're losing games, and not give him his praise. You know, the subs are working, the system is working, the players going out there are playing well. Everything is working. Until it doesn't, then I can't say much. Of course, there's times we need to be able to rotate and chop and change, but things are working. My challenge is just simply do it till May, because I've seen us have fantastic periods, going fantastic little runs. I wouldn't quite call this an unbeaten run, but this little recent period of games, I'm more behind this than I was when we was doing the unbeaten run, really and truly, in a few weeks ago, and really actually under Emre as well. That one, because I got a lot of heat for my feelings on that unbeaten run on YouTube, didn't I? So yeah, man, it's going well. It's going well, but like I said, I don't want to sit back and go, well, what about then? What about December? Because if we look at Leicester, the last 2 seasons, when it's got to that final furlong, they've bottled it. I don't want to be like that, respectfully. I mean, when we finish 8th, of course I will take that, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do all of that and then get all the way there and then mess it up. This is why I like what we're doing. But if we just keep doing what we're doing, we keep this mentality, we should be able to steady this ship in tough times, which we did go through tough times at the start of the season, you know, away from home a few months ago. It weren't pretty, you know, dropping silly points against United. Terrible day at the office against Everton, to say it nicely, and all of them things. So it's a techie one, I would say. Very techie one. Oh, what's all of that about? But yeah, nonetheless, appreciate that, my guy. Come on, like, the stream is free. Norwich pack lit. Only time they saw fight is when they're trying to bad up our younger players, man. It's the only time they fought. And as I keep saying, if they showed some fight, they might not be in the relegation. Yo, I'm not used to this yet, winning like this. Neither am I, but we got to ride the highs and the lows, man. Couldn't watch the game, but DG still carries my vibe. Stop cutting onions, man. DG, Halen eating good. We're eating good, bro. We're eating good. And we could eat a lot better if we tied down people's contracts, and you could be in a reality where, again, I know he's struggling with COVID, but Maitland, you want to go Roma? All right, cool. 20 mil. Eddie, 20 mil. You know, Balogun, you're gonna make it here, cool. Or if not, we're developing him into a player where he's worth 20 million minimum. Saka had a good game as well. Obviously, I don't really feel the Xhaka and Partey partnership long term if we're gonna really do what Arsenal can do, but I hear it. 8th goal of the season for Smith-Rowe. I believe that is a deflection off a Norwich defender, but it all counts, man. It all counts, man. We'd be coasting, but that's the thing with Arsenal. We got to stop dropping the dumb points, because not every time you drop points is going to be dumb points. I guess you could always improve, but you know, we are going to drop more points this season. We are going to win games, but it's like, as you see in the Prem, the margins are getting finer and finer. Probably exaggerated a bit more between City and Liverpool fighting for the top, but it could come down to silly things. So you've always got to, now we're doing well. We can't go back in time, but you've also got to consider, you know, not getting a point minimum from United, as well as holding on to a win. Definitely not grabbing 3 points against Everton. At the time, we was dead in it, but Brentford at the start of the season, I won't quite go as far as to say I expect a point or anything of City and Chelsea at that time or in general, but obviously if we play Chelsea now, I'm a bit more hopeful. But nonetheless, them 2 games. Now, this is why I said we're going to drop more points, and this is why I wouldn't call it overperformance, but this is why I like what we're doing, because if that normalization happens, because we've overachieved a bit, we might fall into a decent ground where typically we've been at a bit of a knife edge. I do like what's happening. I do think confidence is high, but again, we just need to keep behaving like we've not achieved anything, and we haven't. What have we achieved? We haven't achieved nothing. You know, all that matters is the final standing. You know, maybe on Premier League years, when you watch that in a couple of years, it shows where Arsenal are at. But yeah, man, all that matters is me. Keep fighting, and we're getting there, man. We're at the halfway point, arguably at the start of the season, and we've had the good, bad, and the ugly. It's down to these boys to paint whatever narrative now that they want to. But today was good, wasn't it? Today was good, people. Today was good, man. DG, would you take Ramsey back on loan until the end of the season? Listen, I've seen us link with Aaron Ramsey, Coutinho, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. If we're desperate, then beggars can't be choosers. Why not? But it's never nice to go back to your ex. Listen, Ramsey's a good player. I don't think he solves the balance in our midfield. Yeah, he could score goals, but if we're real, Ramsey's goal scoring, as in, season out, the highlights look good. And this is what from one of his biggest fans. To call Ramsey a goal scoring midfielder, I think when you look at the stats, it's probably overstating a lot. I don't think he balances the team. Obviously, he's experienced and things, but I just don't think it makes sense on top of the wages. Again, if beggars can't be choosers, then why not? But I just don't think it makes sense. Again, throw Wilshere's name into that. These things probably don't make sense. But yeah, man. Biggest positive for Arsenal is the fact that their squad is the youngest in the Premier League. Again, true. And you wouldn't necessarily know that by the way we're putting in performances. This is why, obviously, we have to use youth as an example. But when we was losing games and certain things were happening, I was saying you can't keep running to that. 3 points behind Chelsea before that game played tonight. So hopefully Villa could do us a favour. I just expect Chelsea to win. But yeah, man. Who can we rotate for the Wolves game so we're in better condition for Man Ishi? I hear that. I changed it up. I hear that, but I would say don't rotate anyone because who have we probably more likely got a chance of 3 points against? You know, we've got to look at this on a cerebral thing. Like, if we can get 6 points from these next 2 games, I wouldn't say City's a free hit because there's no free hits in the Premier League. You've got to put in a performance. It sounds cliche, but this is where we see where you're really at. But Leicester gave them a game today. It's the festive period, you know. So I would say play your best team against Wolves because at the end of the day, what are you resting players against City for? Resting players for City for. We've got more of a chance of 3 points, so we need to be vital with that. And that's one thing I've liked more so with our home form. When we've just needed to grab these points, it ain't always been pretty, but we grab points. And I would say, I don't want to say we've turned a corner because for me, I've said May is it, but I just feel what we won our first game of the season against Norwich. We look a completely different. I'm exaggerating a bit, but we look a completely different team from that last game. Really and truly. And I thought if we played at Carrow Road, it'd be a tricky one. I don't listen with the commentary on and whatnot for copyright purposes, but it looked like we shut up the crowd and all them things quite well today. January will be crucial. Again, it will be. And right now, everything's going well, man. The man them are not injured. Well, when it is, we ain't really having mad cases of injuries like that. I know COVID has struck us down, but all it takes is a couple injuries to a couple of key players. If something happens in our midfield, if something happens to one of the Sakas, Martinellis, or Smith-Rowe's, if something happens to Tomiyasu, I know there's Ben White, but if something happens to Tomiyasu, we're relying on Ben White, Gabriel Holding gets suspended, we're in trouble. God forbid if something happens to Ramsdale. Listen, Leno isn't bad, but these are the things. It becomes a squad. And I think, you know, the one place I look at for me is the midfield. Like, I just feel we're on a knife edge anyways. I think if we could get a midfielder in an 8 or 2, I'd feel a lot more confident about Arsenal in general. Appreciate that, Femi. Hope you had a great Christmas. Hope everyone did. And I hope you're having a fantastic Boxing Day. C probably has comment of the live stream. And bro, this guy's always articulating my thoughts into great ways. Great minds think alike. Progress over process any day. First things first. That's it. All I want to always say, Rome wasn't built in a day, but I want to see some scaffolding and plumbers and anyone that's walked through a building site gets the example. Now I'm seeing that. Before, we were just screaming that for no reason, and really, it's not seeing it sort of thing. But you said progress over process any day, but there is no progress without a quality process. Nothing we do that matters happens randomly. Exactly. Finding a good goal scorer is one of the hardest things to do. Trust. If Villa win today, can we quietly look forward rather than backwards? Let's just do what we're doing. Like, we look backwards because of what it could be and people behind us. We look at front. We look in front of us. We don't overdo it. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. The past brings regret. If we use one of Wenger's quotes, the past brings regrets. We've had regrets at the start of the season. The future brings uncertainty because we don't know if we're going to be fourth in May. There's no time like the present. All we can do is work on what we're doing in the present. We don't know what's going to happen, but we can try run it all the way and give ourselves half a chance, in my humble opinion. That's easier said than done. I definitely got more belief in them than I had, but yeah, man. 8 in the league for Smith-Rowe. We said, can he become a 10-goal, 10-assist man? And he's moving towards that. The key will be, could you do it again? DG watch along for Chelsea. Right, you're moving mad. There's no way I'm going to be able to get all of that pattern. People on Twitter still criticizing Odegaard. I mean, anyone criticizing Odegaard, if it's legit concerns, fair play. But we all know it's cool to be angry. You know, he played very well. City ravaging, man. Backing the manager doesn't mean not criticize where due. You know, we can't always praise when we're winning and not criticize when we lose. But yeah, generally, I'd say back Arsenal. You know, the manager, the players, they get my support, whether I like them necessarily or not. I support the club. I don't support anyone's ideologies or anyone committed to anyone's cause about doing well or not. Did you get the Gucci and Moncler you wanted? No. So you lot need to make sure you're nice, man. Would you offer Laka a 1-year deal? I mean, on unrealistic terms, the same terms that he's probably on, yeah, but probably not, man. Thoughts on taking Rabiot? If we're desperate, why not? But again, I don't think he's going to solve much. Was this last summer our best of the decade? I've seen us bring in Alexis Emezio. I'm guessing it. I don't know. I'd have to sit down and think, man. Eddie starts against Wolves. Laka is tired. Probably. I'd still, if Lacazette's fit, I'd rather him. Or maybe we could bless the beef with Aubameyang. I mean, Eddie, you get an opportunity, do your thing, but oof. 5 out of COVID right now. Let's pray not any more cases. And not just for us, for everyone, man. Facts. Big up the Arsenal away fans. Ramsdale 9 clean sheets. Should have 10 because of the Leeds one. I'm still on them, man. I wouldn't mind Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He wouldn't be the first one. Arsenal looking the most convincing under Arteta. He's not going to settle for a year. And that's why Arsenal and Lacazette, need to divorce by the end of the season. You know, for as good as Lacazette was, for a striker, no matter how much he's general playing and stuff, he barely asked any questions of the goalie. And that's his third goal of the season. Like, are we trying to move into that territory? If Lacazette's on being a squad player, then I'm on that, really. I think, especially if you're going to play Champions League, I think Laka can give you this for another year. But is it the right thing? I can't tell you if Lacazette's going to be like this a year from now. And really, not to criticize him, what are we justifying giving a new deal for? Pressing well, link-up play, working hard? That should be a set piece, a given. Where Aubameyang's future and losing 2 experienced strikers now comes into it, there's an issue. I mean, Smith-Rowe, obviously, like everyone wants to start. But again, I've always said, for me anyways, this season's a reset. We need 3 points. You know, we need 3 points when we're working. I don't think any players can complain, really. You know, everyone just keep fighting. Everyone will get their opportunity. There might be injuries and all these sort of things, but the team comes first. And what's working right now is working, innit? Until it stops working, I think everyone just has to keep working hard. But you can't be vexed. Of course, Smith-Rowe doesn't want to stay on the bench, and we are going to have to find a long-term way of getting them both into the team. But same way, we need options. And, you know, we need to remember Smith-Rowe's a young lad. It's just his thing is, because he's played a lot more in Arsenal's in a delicate situation, if he is somewhere else, he probably gets slight rotation. And I like it because we're keeping him fresh. There's going to come a time where he's going to get his spot back in. You know, it's inevitable at some point. Martinelli isn't going to keep playing amazing, and or Odegaard isn't, and there's going to be rotation. You know, this is always what happens. There was a time Pepe was holding down the shirt. Saka's held down his shirt. Smith-Rowe was the thing off the left. Odegaard was the thing in the team. And likewise, all these guys, when they're not doing it, they've been dropped. It's been a long season already, and it's a squad game. Really and truly. Like, it's a massive squad game.